Hey YouTube! I've been planning on making this video for a while. I've got my list of topics that I eventually want to make videos on, and I never really felt like it was the right time to just randomly throw it out there, especially because it's such like a hot button topic that like people fly off the handle about no matter how you answer it. But now I actually got a comment specifically asking about this. So I got this a few days ago, but from Ralph Day, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He asks, I've always enjoyed your videos. Aw, thank you. Out of interest, what's your take on gay and lesbian rights / marriage, etc.? Well, for as much of a loaded question as that is, given, again, I know how everybody gets really pissed off no matter how you answer it. There's no answer where everybody's happy, but my personal views and opinions, I'm very pro LGBT. Personally, I feel love is love, regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of sexuality. As long as nobody's getting hurt in the process, you know what? Love whoever the hell you want to love. It doesn't matter to me one bit. Because, the heart wants what the heart wants. Be it male, female, same gender, opposite gender. It really just doesn't matter. There's so much negativity in this big crazy world that if you can find that special person that you love, especially if it just happens to be your soulmate too, but if you find somebody that you fall in love with, I think that's wonderful. I think that is a beautiful thing, no matter what the particular arrangement is, be it gay, straight, bi, whatever. I see nothing wrong with it personally. And especially for how much a lot of people get bashed for this, I'm actually saying this as a Catholic. So, that's just my personal take. That's my personal views on it. I honestly don't see anything wrong with it. I've got friends from all walks of life. I have straight friends, I have gay friends, I have lesbian friends, I have bi friends, I have transgender friends, I have transsexual friends, I have asexual friends, I have pansexual friends, I have the whole scope. I know people from all walks of life, and they are all wonderful people. And to people who feel like threatened by the queer community, I use it as a blanket term just to cover all of them because it's easier that way than rattling them all off in like one go and feeling like I'm forgetting some. But for people who feel threatened by it, I just want to say that out of all the people I have ever known, I have never once, not once, heard of somebody trying to go out of their way to convert a straight person to whatever. There is no gay agenda or whatever that, I don't know, the fear-mongers try to put out there. There isn't one. People just happen to fall in love with who they fall in love with. They're attracted to whoever they're attracted to. And that's basically it. We're all hardwired differently. I'm one of those people that believes that it's from birth. It's not a nature versus nurture thing. It's from birth. I've witnessed it, actually, from birth with quite a few different people now. But, really, I see no point in denying to oneself who they actually are. Because, again, the only people that it concerns are the people in the specific relationship. It's nobody else's business what they do behind closed doors in their bedroom. It's no one else's business. I'm all for gay pride and everything. Don't think that I'm saying be closeted, because no, there's no reason for that either. No, I'm just saying that there's no reason that people should be butting their noses into other people's business just for the sake of hating on them. There's no reason for that. And I hate that that goes on every day, and that there's hate crimes on it, and just, there's so much negativity in the world anyway. Why is this even a thing. I don't know. For the life of me, I will never understand why it's a big thing. I mean, it's just that people are programmed differently. It's hardwired in their brains. Like, I've tried to compare it for some people who just are straight and trying to understand the mentality that, okay, so you're straight, you are attracted to the opposite gender. Does that necessarily mean you are attracted to every single person in the opposite gender? No, it doesn't. So, being gay doesn't mean that you're automatically attracted to every single person of the same gender. Because I know it seems to be like this weird common fear with homophobic people that, oh my god, this person's gay, are they gonna hit on me? Oh my god, no. Probably not. I mean, most people have a type, and they will, like, go for the type, or they will meet somebody just in general that they click with, and that'll be that. They are not going to go out of their way to hit on you. I mean, they might accidentally, if they don't realize you're straight, maybe hit on you, but as soon as you, like, clear that up, then it's done. It's over. They're not going to, like, keep harassing you. I mean, nobody wants a sexual harassment lawsuit, trust me. So, I mean, it is not as big a deal as certain people make it out to be. And I know other people try to put the biblical spin on it, and I think a lot of stuff with religion is open to interpretation. And I don't claim to be any sort of expert on the subject, and I think it's up for interpretation to any individual person who wants to interpret it however they wish to, but my personal interpretation is that Jesus told us to love one another. Period. I think that goes for all people. As that's what was said, was it not? Love one another. It didn't have a caveat on it, like, love one another as long as you are of the opposite gender. No, there was nothing like that. I don't know, it gets all muddied up, but again, this is my personal take on it. If you disagree with it, I'm sorry. You don't have to agree with me. You can have your own view, that's great, but this is my personal opinion. I'm not trying to push it on anybody else. This is just an opinions thing. So, that's my view on it, and I know that a lot of people like to throw out certain quotes from the Bible that are supposedly anti-gay or whatnot. Just about everyone I've ever seen seems to be, like, really vague, and it seems like any given one of them could be interpreted a number of ways. And there's another thing to be kept in mind, is that it's been translated from language to language, I don't even know how many times over at this point, to be readable in our modern day languages. It's been flat out admitted that a lot of things have possibly gotten lost in the conversions or have gotten mistranslated, that sort of thing. So, the people who are, like, hardcore, by the book, every last little thing, I'm like, keep in mind that even as is, if you are going by the book, that it is not necessarily 100% true to the original form. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Again, I'm not trying to change anybody's minds on anything. That's just my views, but it's something to be kept in mind when looking objectively at things. And moment. I had somewhere else I was going with this. I'm trying to remember now. But yeah, basically all of them, it just seems like they were intentionally left vague to be interpreted by the masses in whatever ways made the most sense to them. And the fact that it seems like a lot of people have, over the years, twisted the words in the book to become hate-mongering. And I mean, this doesn't just go for homophobia, this goes for racism, this goes for world wars, this goes for all sorts of things. that doesn't seem like the original intention of the book, if you ask me. So, I mean, that's just my take on things on that particular angle. But what it all boils down to, again, is people loving each other, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Because I don't think it's anybody else's business what any given couple does in their own time. I really don't think it's anybody else's business, and homophobes really should just butt out. It's not like they're trying to throw it in their face that, hey, we're doing this, oh yeah, we had butt sex, or whatever. I mean, I know, I used the worst possible term, I'm sorry for that, but, I mean, because this, you have to break down to the way people view this, apparently, but they're not doing that. That's not how it works. That is not how it works at all. It baffles my mind that some people are so close-minded about it in general, and just about anything that doesn't fit their standard definition of normal, be that about sexuality or anything else in life. It seems like if it doesn't fit to their cookie-cutter standards of normal, then it must be wrong, and they don't understand it, and they fear it, and they turn that into hate. And again, that's just wrong, and it shouldn't happen, but it does. And that's why, while I respect everybody's personal opinions and beliefs, if somebody is blatantly hateful about things like that, again, it's not just on sexuality, but even races and things like that, generally, I won't put up with that, and I won't associate with that if people are that bad with it. I mean, if people just on their own are bigoted, but they keep their mouth shut about it and don't do it in front of me, then okay, whatever. They're entitled to their thoughts and their feelings, and I suppose that's what makes the world go round, is that we're all different. But if they do it in front of me, that generally sours me on the person really quickly, and I cut them out of my life because I just don't want to deal with the negativity, period. No matter what it is that they're being so hateful about. Again, I think that everybody's different, and that everybody's wonderful in their own ways. So, hopefully that answered the question of what my thoughts and takes are, and I forgot, I only answered half your question now that I thought about it. Well, I guess it could be construed from the rest of it what my views on gay marriage are, but I see no reason why it shouldn't be legal. I mean, yes, there's the whole sanctity of marriage thing, but it's just like, how exactly, tell me, does letting two people who love each other and are in a committed relationship destroy the sanctity of marriage when people like Britney Spears can be married for, what, like 2-3 days and get a divorce, and that's not destroying the sanctity of marriage? The logic is so flawed on this, and I don't know. But personally, I am all for it. I hope we get to see a day when it's just okay and legal for everybody to marry whoever they want to marry. Because, again, love is love. That is the bottom line, and there shouldn't have to be all these loopholes and hoops to jump through, and it's such a headache for people, and it's not fair. It really isn't fair. And even though this wasn't in the question, I'll touch on it anyway, just because it's related. But I mean, gay adoption, I don't see why that's not more legal either. Because there's plenty of straight couples who absolutely should not have children, but do. And yet, a couple who happens to be same gender and would absolutely dote on this child and provide them with a loving environment aren't allowed to. Why exactly? I don't know. I mean, they claim the whole, oh, well, they need a mother figure and a father figure. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard, because that's saying that widowed couples, or I mean, well, not a widowed couple, because if they're widowed, there's only one of them, or divorced couples, or single parent homes for whatever reason. That's not having a mother and a father figure, that's having one or the other. And there's so many just modern, non-traditional types of families these days that it's just like, why is it still an issue? Why? I don't know. And it bothers me, but then again, just because it bothers me doesn't mean that it's gonna do anything about it, so. But personally, I am all for it. I hope it eventually also becomes more widespread, legal, and okay for couples to be able to adopt or just however have children. I guess they can through IVF. I guess that's okay currently. I don't know. It goes from state to state and it varies. I'm in California and things are pretty liberal here for the most part, so I know that there's other states where they're like hardcore against all of it, and there's other states where everything goes. And I think California's somewhere in between the two, last I checked. I don't know, it's hard to keep up with what exactly the current standing is of these things, because it changes all the time. But anyway, bottom line, I am for it, and I support anyone and everyone in whatever relationship they have.